Hi, my name is Stefan Hiellein from DeepFrames, and in this video I will introduce you to materials in 3ds Max and V-Ray. So in 3ds Max I will create a very simple scene by clicking here in the V-Ray toolbar on the Cosmos browser icon, and I will get asked if I want to change the current renderer to V-Ray, which I will answer with yes. And then I have here my Chaos Cosmos window, and under HDRIs in the Studios category I will select maybe Studio 003, and I've already downloaded that, and by clicking on the screen icon I will add it to the scene. So I will see here that's my dome light with this HDRI which was added. And then in 3D models under furniture and chairs, I will search for a Barcelona chair, and this is it's called here Chair Lounge 001. So I will add that also by clicking on the green icon. So that's the chair, and maybe I will add a ground plane in the Create panel by clicking on plane and then clicking and dragging a plane on the ground. So in order to create a new material, you can select the plane, and at the moment it's purple, and I will create a new material by clicking on this gray sphere here in the V-Ray toolbar, and this will create a new material. Usually when you use 3ds Max the first time, you have this slate material editor, and you can change the material. There are two different types of material editor. You can change the mode here. This is the node-based slate material editor, and you can change it to the compact one by clicking here on modes and compact material editor. Usually for a scene with many materials, I find it easier to work with the compact material editor, but if a material gets very complex, it's sometimes better to work with the slate material editor. So in 3ds Max, when I want to edit now this material of the lounge chair, so I have this pipette icon here, and I will select here this sphere, and with the click pipette I can pick now an object from this material, and this will get the object's material to the material editor so I can edit it. As you can see, these two materials have here gray corners, which means that these materials are used in the scene, and if it's a white corner, then it means that my current scene selection uses this material. So I've currently selected the plane, and the plane has this gray material, that's why the corners are white, and the grayed out corners here mean that the plane doesn't use this material. And here you have no corners at all, which means that these materials are not used in the scene at the moment. So I can select this material, and I can assign it to the lounge chair by clicking here on Assign Material to Selection. That's this button. Also, you can see here that the type of the material is a V-Ray material. That's written here, and you could change the type to another type like GLTF or multi-submaterial, but we will stay with V-Ray material at the moment. So the parameters here, I will open a V-Ray frame buffer, and I will start an interactive rendering by clicking on this teapot with this green icon. So we will see now the chair. And as you can see at the moment, it's just gray. And you can change the diffuse color now to something. So imagine that this is like the object's color. So the diffuse color, if I set it to red, then everything becomes very reddish. And maybe I will create another material for the ground by clicking the ground and clicking an empty icon and clicking on this gray sphere again. So now the ground has a gray material. It appears a bit white, a bit too white, probably because the light is too bright. I can adjust the brightness of the light in the modify panel. I can set the intensity maybe is to 0.5. So now it's more grayish. So back to our chair material, the red material. So I've explained the diffuse color, that's like the object's color. Then there's reflection, so a value of black means that there's no reflection going on. And I can set this to white, and this means that the object is reflective. And now the glossiness parameter of 1 means that the reflection is very sharp. So it's very sharp. And if glossiness of 0 would mean that the reflection is very blurry, and values in between like 0.8 or 7 make it look like plastic or leather. And here you can also change the Fresnel. So if you want to make an object look a bit more like chrome, then you could put here, disable the Fresnel reflections and put a glossiness of 1 maybe, or 0.9, and maybe change the color to black and change the color to black, and now it looks like a chrome metal effect. So refraction, that's like a glass effect. So if you want to see through an object, that's usually done by refraction. So a value of black means that there's no refraction going on, so the object is opaque and you can't look through it. And if you set it to white, then you can see through the object a bit better. I will disable the reflection again, and you can see that looks like now like glass. And in the refraction glossiness, it works very similar to the reflection glossiness. So a value of 1 means the refraction is very sharp, so it's very similar to glass. And if you put a refraction glossiness of 0.7, that looks more, or 0.8, that looks more like a frosted glass effect. And the refraction is not very sharp. So, okay, I will disable refraction now again, if setting it to black. So another important thing is the self-illumination. So if the object should emit light, you can set this one here to any color you like. So if it should be pure red, then it would look like this. And you can change the multiplier maybe to 10, and this would be if an object is like a light bulb and should emit light. So in this what I want to also mention is this BRDF here at the bottom. So you can switch here between glossiness and roughness. So glossiness means that here the reflection is calculated, this value means glossiness. Glossiness means that the value of 1 is very sharp, and the value of 0 is very blurry. And if you change it to roughness, that's like the inverted glossiness. So maybe let's save illumination again to black, reflection to white, and now I've used here roughness, and a value of 0 should create a very sharp reflection now. So roughness is the inverted glossiness. You can think of that, think like that. And roughness, sometimes you get some maps to download from textures.com, which are made in this roughness mode, and then you have to switch here to roughness. Otherwise, you can stay usually with glossiness. Also, here's the list of maps if you use any textures. And yeah, that's it. You can open the material editor here with this icon, open and close it. And I think these were the most important things about material. There's also an online help for the VRAM material, so there were a lot of parameters we didn't cover yet, but can here on the website of Chaos Group's VRAM material help, you will find all parameters with samples, and sometimes it's very handy to have a look here if you search for a specific parameter and what it does and what value would be appropriate. Okay, thanks for listening. I will put a link to this cheat sheet again in the description in the video, and see you in the next video.